Hello, welcome to Season 4 of How to Play D&D, the explainer podcast with one experienced Dungeon Master and one fellow scriptwriter to discuss D&D topics. My name is Kinsey and my ridiculously inadequate pod partner is Lewis McCaffery. Hello, Lewis.
Hello, Connor.
Hello.
I don't know what I was doing then. I've reverted to just doing weird things to see if you'll notice me in the corner of your eyes.
Well, we've been trapped in this room now for about 1 hour.
Yeah.
And this is our third episode.
I don't know how people do it.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I've continued to drink urine despite knowing.
That's what this is... Yeah, brought us to an hour in the Chamber of Secrets.
I've been drinking my own urine. I knew.
I
knew that's the word.
See, that's the thing. I don't know if you noticed. I've been drinking your own urine from as I've been squeegeeing it out of your jeans.
Fucking hell. This isn't airing. Well, weirdly enough, what do you think today's episode's about?
Theft in D&D.
You are correct. No, it's on cheat sheets. Let's get to it. Okay, so today's episode is on cheat sheets. I've been playing for 3 years as of the recording of this episode and DMing for most of that time, but I'm a storyteller, not a math magician, and I find a massive comfort in having some kind of cheat sheet that allows me to quickly scope some basic rules that I wasn't expected to come up during the player's escapades. I've also got a Lewis, and that's worth its weight in gold. I take it back now, though, because why were you laughing at me?
Because when you said you find massive comfort, I don't know why, I just thought you were going to say I find massive cock. I don't know why.
Maybe it's not worth gold. Maybe it's worth nothing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right, Lewis, I've been barking up the wrong tree all day. When will I find the right tree for me? What am I doing?
For who?
For me.
That depends. Are you still in bear form or being...
Always.
Yep, okay.
Always.
Well, the right tree for you then, in bear form, will be one that obviously you can climb, big enough to scratch your back on.
Oh.
And
they say, if you scratch my back, I'll probably eat you and your family because I'm a bear.
Yeah, true. And one in the distance, if you aren't aware, don't know if it's a tree, that it looks like a small man waving at you.
Oh,
yeah.
Fair enough.
That's actually true. That's in the Bible.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, on that note, what can first-time DMs do to have some general rules at hand?
Oh, one thing in terms of cheat sheets, obviously, if you're not familiar with all the rules, obviously, there are loads of different websites that can help you with that. For example, podcasts that can try.
Yes, you can learn from us. So, I don't know when. Not this episode.
We'll tell you when we start providing information.
We'll tell you.
That is learn-worthy.
Yes.
Yeah. But there are cheat sheets online. You can ask other DMs. Ask if you go into your local game shops and ask the players and DMs there what struggles they faced. There's so many places that you can go to, even just to ask the question. I think if you're not sure where to go with it, ask the question to someone who has DM'd, because they will easily be able to tell you what the main things you need to consider are.
Yep. You can go through the player's handbook as well and just write what you think is something that you're not very good at remembering. Yeah. Look for your weaknesses and maybe write those down on a sheet so you've got it there to go through.
Sorry, before you go to the next one thing I will say is a lot of DM screens also have some basic rules inside. So if you're looking to buy a DM screen, have a look on that and have a look in your local game shop and see what options are available, because they'll have some there for you.
Yeah. What would you personally put on a cheat sheet?
Personally, I'd probably put...
like rules of combat?
Maybe not even necessarily rules, because I can remember, like with combat, I've got a lot of that somewhat memorised. What I don't know and what I would need the cheat sheets for is, let's say, different conditions and exactly what they do. For example, restrained versus grappled, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Whether, which one gives disadvantage, which one stops you moving, that kind of thing. So it's always good to have like conditions like that and things. What I'd advise for new DMs is things like which armors give stealth disadvantages, for example.
Yep.
A general table of what your spells or your saving throw DC should be. So is it very easy? So it should be 5. Is it easy? 10, and so on all the way up to 30. maybe even what I would probably do as well in a campaign is have a list of weapons and armors and prices, because you got to come across shops, you got to do things like that, and you don't want to wing it and accidentally charge someone 2 gold pieces for a legendary item, because I've done a similar thing before and it was not pleasant.
Fair enough.
What would you put on a cheat sheet?
I think for a first time DM, I do think conditions are a really good one. You do see that on a lot of those DM screens. I do think the combat rules are important for
a new DM.
DM. I don't think anything story-wise needs to be on there. I think it's just general ruling. It needs to be things, like how far can a character jump?
Exactly.
I do think what you said about the saving throws and that's really helpful, because I'm always looking those up depending on what I want to put into the game.
Basically, when you're planning a session, especially as a new DM, every time you plan an aspect that uses some kind of ruling, for example, if there's a trap that they need to roll a save against, or if there is an enemy that, again with spell saves, or if they're going to need to be perceptive and you need to tell people how they work out their passive perception, that kind of thing. Because a cheat sheet is just supposed to be a quick glance, like you said, nothing story based. It should just be, what's that rule? Have a look, done, rather than having to flick through the book.
And there's nothing wrong with winging it at the time, but then you've kind of got to stick with what you already have. I mean, the next question is it okay to have a cheat sheet available in front of players? I would say yes, because we've had it before where we were doing essentially like a war scenario, and I see in lots of Facebook groups people still in DM groups asking how they do mass combat, and that's not easily done. And I think some of the answers I've seen when I've looked at it, they don't work for me, those answers. So we had that, and we were all around the table discussing how the scenario you were in would work, because you want it to make sense to everyone, but also be fun. So I'm happy to have that discussion so it works for everyone,
Yeah, definitely. It's for players themselves. Like I said, I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, as well, what we've done before is on the back of DM screens, stick bits on there as well. For the players that, especially if it's a new group, like what you can do in combat, things like that. If you give that to players as well, perfect. They won't spend 3 hours on the turn asking what can they do, that kind of thing.
So I guess the same kind of answer really, but can players support with ruling when the DM requires it, when the DM asks it?
Yeah, when the DM asks it, yes. Requires it, still yes. But at any point, I'd say no.
Don't be bringing it up unless the DM's asked for it.
Don't be that player.
And it is so common.
Yeah. But yeah, if a DM...
I think you're fine.
Literally.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, literally. I think you'll find the door, mate. Yeah, literally. It's... If you're a new DM, there's nothing wrong with asking your players, whether they're new or not, or experienced or not. Like you said with the war scenario, discuss it with the players. If you're trying to figure out how something will work, where it's still fun, it's fair, and it's actually still a bit challenging, then speak to your players, see what their suggestions are. You can either go with one of them, you can make your own, or kind of combine them all. And there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Do rules need to be followed by the book to have a great time as a new DM? No, we literally bring this up all the time. It's all about what you make it, and so long as it's not like kind of ruining the experience for everyone, including yourself as a DM, then you do what you want. It's got to make sense. Otherwise people are going to have it on the back of their mind thinking that's not how it should have worked out. Or,
no, exactly. There's nothing wrong with winging it. We always say the rules are more like guidelines. Obviously, some of them, you can't just abandon them all. Some of them are vital. But
you can't say we just don't hit.
Exactly.
We don't do hit die, we don't do damage. Like, you need things.
Exactly. But can you change some? Can you ignore some? Yeah, of course. We do it all the time. It's that rule of cool factor where if something, the way I view all my games, and I know you're pretty much the same, is if something because what you've got to remember is that this should be like a real world. So if something makes sense in the real world, then why not roll for it? Just why not allow it to happen if they're successful in trying it? Like, even if it's technically against the rules.
And adding rules that benefit your players is also good. Like, we have it. You get points of inspiration in D&D. We have bullshit tallies and super anime moment tallies, and you can benefit from that, or not do the opposite, benefiting from that with the bullshit stuff. So things like that just basically, if you don't think about it, the game is there on the table, but it's still what you can do to make the players have fun, and like turning up and having a chat before the game and all these things. Some of the rules in the game make people want to be there, and like
exactly,
like the community, kind of like a community, you know. So do things not just so their characters experience it, do it so the players want more.
Exactly. I think it goes back to how I always describe D&D to new players, is that you should want to, or these are always the players I look for, where it's treat it seriously, like it's a real world, while remembering it's still a game. You're still there to have a good time. You're not necessarily there to win it, to beat the game. You're not there to like imagine you're in a book for 3 hours straight. It's just go there, have a good time with your friends or with other players, but also taking the world somewhat seriously.
Yeah. The experience just isn't just on the table.
No, exactly.
Well, this is a pretty short episode today, but that's it. Essentially, do what the fuck you want.
Yeah.
As long as you're having fun. And
why are you listening to us?
Why are you listening to us? Yeah. And if you do want a cheat sheet, we've got one for you, so check the links.
Yeah.
God.
Literally.
God, I hate you.
Fucking hell.
Ugh.
Just get a grip, man.
I don't like you. Why'd you go here?
I know.
Okay, today's adventure... I'm talking to you. Today's adventure is sadly coming to a close. We're back again next week with the topic, how many pennies does it cost to get your thoughts? And how much lube will it take to get them back out of you?
Let's find out on how to play D&D After Dark, please.
And as always, thank you for tuning in. If you like joining on the D&D action, then please follow us on Instagram, Threads and TikTok at How to Play D&D, or check out the link in our bio to join our Discord server for BTS of sessions, bloopers, blogs and access to episodes and even live Q&As. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/howtoplaydd. We've got painting sessions, we've got whole other episodes that aren't on here that are more like just chats.
Rambling.
What else do we have on there? We have photos
of us in the bath.
Yes, blooper bits. We've got our episodes that they come out 2 days early.
2 days
on there. That's pretty good going.
That's at least 3 hours.
Yeah, you essentially get 2 episodes from us a week.
Exactly.
I've been Connor Kinsey.
I've been Lewis McCaffery.
Good day.
Bye.